Welcome to Quick Bite video on commercial property insurance, data blueprint from Insurance Domain Training Center. This data depicted in this video is more USA geography focused. Whether it is traditional project or AI-based project, the data is the key. In this video, we discuss about the key data segments and data attributes required for commercial property insurance. Please note that we have an exclusive article on w.insu.com listing down the key data attributes for commercial property insurance, as all the key data fields cannot be covered in this video. Let us jump to the topic.
All right, let's talk about the data that powers a massive industry, U.S. commercial property insurance. Now, if you're building software or working on AI in the insurance world, this is the one explainer you're going to want to pay close attention to. This is the blueprint. Just stop and think about that for a second. Look at a skyline. How on earth do you price the risk for all of that? Every single one of those buildings is different. So if it's your job to build a system that figures all that out, where do you even begin? It seems kind of impossible, right? Well, luckily, it's not a guessing game. The answer is a structured, logical data blueprint. And for all you IT pros, you data architects, you AI visionaries watching this, getting this blueprint right is absolutely everything. It's how you build the next big thing in insurance tech. So let's jump in. Okay, first things first. In property insurance, everything, and I mean everything, starts with one simple thing. It's not the company, it's not the contract, it's the physical dot on a map. This is your core risk unit. This table right here, this is the bedrock. It's so much more than just a street address. That latitude and longitude, that's pure gold for any geospatial analysis. You can instantly overlay things like flood maps or wildfire risk. And construction type, whether a building is wood frame or solid masonry, that can completely change the price. Every single field you see here is a critical piece of the puzzle. And here's the bottom line. If you mess up this location data, everything else that you build on top of it is gonna be flawed. Your pricing will be off, your underwriting will be wrong, and those fancy AI models you're building, they won't work. Catastrophe models that predict hurricane damage, for example, they live or die by how accurate this data is. All right, moving on to the next layer. So once we know exactly what and where the property is, we then have to define the promise. What exactly is the insurer agreeing to protect? Think of this part as the main folder or container. For you tech folks, that policy number isn't just a random ID. In any system you design, that's your primary key. It's the hook that everything else hangs on. If you're designing the database, this is going to be your parent table for pretty much everything. And this quote just drives that point home. It doesn't matter if you're using a huge platform like Guidewire or Duck Creek, or if you're building a system from scratch, the policy is always the parent entity. Locations, coverages, claims, they're all child records that link back to this one central thing. Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. This is where the promise gets really specific. An insurer never just covers a building. No way. They cover it for specific perils, like fire or wind, up to a specific limit, and only after the customer pays their part first, the deductible. For all you developers out there, these fields define the core business logic of the entire system. Now, listen up, because this is a pro tip for any implementation team. This is a classic, costly mistake. If you only link a coverage to the main policy and not to the specific building it's for, you are asking for trouble. You could easily end up paying a massive claim on a building that wasn't even supposed to have that protection. It's a huge source of errors. Okay, quick recap. We've got the physical asset locked down, and we have the legal contract that defines the promise. So how do we turn all of that into an actual price? Well, that happens in what we call the intelligence layer. This is the data that starts to really turn the dials on the price. A building has a modern sprinkler system? Great. That's a flag that tells the rating algorithm to give a credit. Price goes down. It's in an area with a poor fire protection class? Well, that's a debit. Price goes up. These fields are the direct inputs that your pricing engine is going to use to do its math. Yep, this is the fuel for your logic engines. If you're the one coding an underwriting rules engine or rating algorithm, these fields are the variables you're going to be calling over and over and over. They are the levers your system pulls to adjust that premium up or down. This image here does a great job of tying it all together. You can really see the flow, can't you? It starts with the physical thing, the location, then you wrap it in the legal contract, and then you layer on all those specific risk attributes. What you end up with is a complete 360-degree digital twin of that risk. And here we are, the end of the line. All that data, all those calculations, they get distilled down into a single number, the rate. You apply that rate to the total insured value, or TIV, and boom, you get the final premium. That's the number the customer actually sees on their bill. So, we've built our solid data foundation. Now for the really exciting part. How does this clean, perfectly structured data blueprint become the jet fuel for modern AI and advanced analytics? Let's find out. Now, take a close look at these fields. A property condition score, a fraud risk indicator, these are different. These aren't things a person types into a form. They're what we call derived fields. They are the intelligent outputs, the answers, that machine learning models generate after they've analyzed all that foundational data we just walked through. And right here, this is the absolute key for anyone working in the AI space. Your most valuable data often isn't the raw stuff you collect. It's the new predictive data, these engineered features that your models create. This is how you make the jump from just recording what happened in the past to actually predicting what's going to happen next. This little diagram lays out the entire data pipeline perfectly. You start with the raw data. That gets fed into your core systems just to run the day-to-day business. Then it's moved into analytical systems, like a data warehouse, for reporting. And finally, that clean, curated data becomes the training set that you feed your AI and machine learning systems. It's a classic journey from raw data to real prediction. So, let's boil it all down. What are the key things you have to nail on your next project? First, location, location, location. Get that granular data right or nothing else matters. Second, those data linkages are critical. Make sure coverages are tied to specific risks. And third, remember the goal of AI isn't just to store data, but to use that raw data to create new, intelligent, derived features. So why do we care so much about all this? Because when you truly master this data blueprint, you're not just building another piece of software. You're enabling smarter system design, you're building more accurate predictive models, and you're creating truly scalable AI-driven solutions that can change the game. So, there you have it. We've laid out the entire data blueprint for you.
Let us look at the commercial property insurance data attributes in detail. Glimpse of policy-level data. Location and property data, which is crucial in property insurance. Coverage-level data, including coverage forms. Underwriting data. The ISO forms are very specific to USA commercial property insurance. Financial and premium data. Data required to keep track of policy changes. Claims and loss data. Regulation and compliance data. Derived data from AI and advanced analytics. To know the details of commercial property data, refer our article InsurTech Guide, Commercial Property Insurance Key Data Fields and Risk Attributes in our website.
Thank you for watching the Quick Bite series from www.inzu.com. Please like and subscribe to our videos for you to get notification when we upload new videos.